Okay, it's dusk out right now. It's I don't know what the hell time of night it is. Probably about 6:30 or something. Let me check the clock. And I'm just finishing up this day. This was a rough day for me emotionally. It always is. I'm gonna put a yellow filter on here because of the time of day that it is. I could probably go with a blue, but my blue filter is a little funky. I gotta go for a test ride in this car anyway and go grab some oil and stuff like that. So I'll just drive around. Maybe I will put the red filter on actually. Let's see. Or the green. Yeah, let me go with a green. It's still light enough for me to go with green. Okay, there we go. Give you a little more contrast, you know. So I'm not sure if the girls went to the video or not. If you guys, if they did, if they went to my videos, I've been uploading them throughout the day as I've been making them, showing everybody how easy this is to collect this nanocarbon from the system. And nobody else is having any luck with it anyways, just to let you know. No one else is able to do this. I told them, I even mentioned to the ones that had cars, I said, just put the dash cam in and go to my videos and see how I do it. All I do is angle the camera up, and you could do it that way as well. I'm driving around right now as we speak, grabbing and collecting nanocarbon from the system. I mean, granted, I don't want all the trees because I want to be able to I mean, I could use the trees too, but that's not what I'm paying them for. That's not what I'm offering to pay them for. I'm offering to pay them for things at the cloud level. Just don't get it, man. So, where to go from here? I'm just going to continue on with the Trippi Sponge series. Obviously, I'm going to keep going forward with that. Earlier today, I took 45 minutes and did a couple videos going in on stones and some on a tree. So I can take all that, and I'll continue to do that as well. But I'm going to start jumping around and go in on the moon. And bring the moon digitally on the computer, and then to paper, and then to the clear plastic plexiglass, and show everybody what's going on with the moon. One of the things I found when I got the moon onto clear plastic is that you can, and this is for everybody, anybody can do what I'm talking about, and I will actually give little lessons as I go, just to make it easy on everybody, because I already been through it, so I can probably make it a lot easier on everyone. And that is pretty much just follow the directions, but because I didn't the first few times I tried it, I didn't follow the directions. The iron-on transfer sheets, they're iron-on transfer sheets that you can buy, right? I bought the cheapest pack. You can buy a $8 pack, or you can buy all the way up to a $20-something pack. I don't know what the fuck the difference is. I just wanted to see if it was going to work, so maybe someday I'll buy the more expensive ones. So after following the directions and letting the patch cool down long enough in order before I went and started tearing it apart and seeing what I had, a few other times earlier I tried it and I was smudging everything and it was not going well. Well, finally I got it. I don't know, it didn't take that long, a week or two, before I finally figured it all out. So I transferred the moon, because once I saw it on the paper, it was getting to be, I seen all the white marks everywhere, and it started putting things together. Then when I got it on a clear plastic, I saw what I thought was the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. And only on the one that I didn't have the hole cut out in the middle, because I cut the hole out of the middle of one of them from my model. So once I had done that, let's stop and get a coffee. Once I did that, it was even better, because then I could shine a light through. Not a strong light though, it has to be the right light. And when I shine a dim light through the plastic, I get the constellations, is what I learned. So once the constellations are all being shown to me, all that, oh boy, that's fucking nice, huh? Yeah. Hello. All that was great for me to have more evidence for myself. So I highly recommend everybody go ahead and do that as well. Easy to do, no problem. But nobody can really get to that point. That's a light right there. Move this over here. It just seems like no one ever gets to that. Everybody's, I don't even know if I feel like running in the fucking store. I'm just gonna drive around, I guess. So we're gonna go in on that as well, and I'll go. And I'm also during Rick's series, I'm gonna do something I always recommend everybody does. I haven't done it since I first started these series a year ago. I hadn't done it on anyone else's series, but I'm gonna do it on Rick's because I tell people about it, but I never do that for them. Which is, go make sure for yourselves once you see the imagery. That is, maybe that's why I never do it, because nobody ever sees what I'm pointing out. But once you do start seeing the imagery, you can go from weather channel to weather channel to weather channel all over this earth and learn for yourself, so you can prove to yourself that it's not just where you are. So once you know, that's what I did. That's what I wanted to know. Another thing that I needed to see for myself, and I did. And once I did, that was great. Because then you know it's not just over your head, you know. It's kind of like I was talking about the other day. Man, it's fucking rods all over the place. The other day I was talking about the smoke and the fire and things like that. Why I went to those. Because when I saw the chemtrails, the geoengineering happening, and I saw the imagery in the small strips, just as soon as they came out the back of the trail, I could zoom in. You could see the imagery. I could start picking out the imagery, and that was without a filter. And I needed to verify for myself as I was learning this system. Okay, is this theory correct? Is it magic dust that they're using, and they're controlling the sine waves that way? Yeah, kind of. Because that's the way everybody's going to look at it, because nobody knows the system. No, they're just dumping heavy metals into the air. There's a natural order of things already as it goes. Now, we fucked up that natural order of things by where we planted our trees, where we built all of our homes, where we settled, all the shapes of the things that we build. Think about the shapes of the things they built back in the beginning. Back when we had all this technology, this nanocarbon technology, when we had this technology, we were moving those 300 to 350 ton stones, and we were moving them for hundreds of miles away, you know, cutting them, precision cuts, and moving them and all. That's what this technology is. It's just taking back that technology and recognizing it first, and then understanding it and taking it back and saying, no, we had enough of you guys' bullshit stories with all the religious nonsense, you know. There's something on my fucking windshield. I'm trying to get rid of it. Yeah, so I was gonna go in and get a coffee, but I don't think I'm gonna bother. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna try to get out of here before these guys do. Because it's already getting dark, so I might as well drive around a little few minutes and get you some of this. I don't even remember what the hell I was talking about now. Oh, so the newscast, yeah. So I talk about it in other videos that one of the things when I first started finding this nanocarbon, you know, it's all a process, you know, and it didn't all come to me at once, because I probably would have freaked out too. But every little process, there was little scary moments here and there that I had to deal with. And when I'd go to shut my brain down, I started seeing it everywhere. So the first place was the movies and the television shows. So I went and I turned on Netflix and I went to Groundhog Day. And at the opening credits of Groundhog Day, they got clouds rolling by. And with my eyes, I didn't need anything to see it. But I still went and got my camera phone because at the time that was the beginning for me. So I saw it with my eyes first. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I didn't have the balls. I was nervous and scared about what I was seeing. There was some fear to it. Not as much as I see everybody else, but maybe they're just not as ready for it. So I had to think about it for the day. Then the next day I went back to that same movie, put my phone up to it and said, oh, fuck yeah, I can see it all easy now. So then, so from there, I had the idea to check country to country, place to place, continent to continent. Let's see what's going on with everybody else. So you can go to Scotland, you can go to Europe, places in Europe. You can go to the Japanese Weather Channel. You can go to the Russian weather, go on the Russian, what is it, RTV or whatever, RT television. You can go on that and same thing, pull up their weather channels, and you'll see that it's the same everywhere. Just in the clouds. You can start with the clouds. But then you can do the same thing. I learned many months later, probably 3 or 4 months later, because as I was learning the system and realizing that the nanocarbon was the builder of everything, including weather, they're builders. They're builders. And I've actually got some more recent things that I'm trying to prove to myself as well about these builders and how we ourselves are builders. I had the idea, I'll just throw it out there. I have not looked into it steady because it just came to me this morning. I saw some chickens frolicking in a field, about 12, 13 chickens. And when I went and looked at the field had the imagery. Now that would be chicken influence rather than human influence, okay? So the chickens are tearing up this field, this grass, right? Just like if human influence, I would say if humans were walking all over a field and having a party, or if humans were mowing the lawn and then left or whatever, and then I go back, which I've done. I've gotten into things with human influence. I just don't post them, and I don't want to confuse people any more than everybody already is, so I try to stay away from anything with human influence. But as I'm doing this on my own, on the side, just know I am looking into this now as well. So the chickens are all scratching at the grass, and they're all over the place, and they're shitting here, shitting there, doing their chicken stuff. And I started looking, and I saw the imagery. So now I'm going to keep going back to that same field that they're playing in, and I'm going to watch them with their chicken influence. Builders also building this imagery, okay? Because the nanocarbon, the EMNC builds everything. So therefore they built us. So anything with human influence, right? Stay with me here. So therefore anything with human influence is still us building ourselves. Like, let's say we build cars in the shapes that we do. We trim trees and bushes in the shapes that we trim them in, all right? We build our homes and other buildings and structures the way that we do. We have this design that we think is human creation, which it is. The block walls, right? The block walls that we build and everything like that. Well, unless we smoothen them, and even smoothened out, I can still find the imagery, but again, it's too much human influence for people to get their head around. I'd rather see a stone that's been blown apart, and I don't want to see any of the area that has the drill marks from the dynamite or anything like that. I don't want to see that. That's too much human influence. I've done videos on it, and they got fucked up on me one time. It was pretty cool, so I should try to do it again sometime. But it just shows you the area where the rock was split. You go in and you get the imagery, and then you think about that, and you say, okay, there's both sides to a big boulder, and here's both sides of it laying on the ground. I get the imagery out of both sides of it. Where the drill marks are, I can also go in there, but it's smoothened out, but I can still go in there and pull the imagery out and give you examples of human influence that the nanocarbon was still also influencing, I guess, is my point. knowing that the imagery and the nanocarbon are also in our skin, because I've done videos on that. It's provable. I can show you how to do it for yourself, going in on a microscopic level, and not even microscopic. I would do both. I would do microscopic level, and I would do just down to the smallest point that your eyes can see by using your camera phone camera, whatever. And so I'm going to turn around. It's already getting dark anyway. So yeah, so I'm able to do all that. So that's on the back of my mind as well, as going in on all that. So going to all the weather channels, I'm going to make sure that I do videos on that, because it is cool to see and get a better understanding of what the fuck is going on around here. Nothing that we were ever told has ever been true. Why do we even deal with all these lies? I don't know. It's no easier, put it this way. It's no easier. It's as a matter of fact, things are a lot more scary in the fake bullshit ass fucking system. Purposely set out to deceive, distract, lie, and scare everybody to increase energy. It's just increasing our energy when we're fearful. No, probably even more so. I can't say I have evidence of this, but I'm guessing that the fear, the energy of the fear and the anger is even higher than what we call love or joy. All right, I just have a feeling that something about that, because with all the death and the wars and the killing ourselves off with all the cancers and all the other shit that we do and stuff. So I'm just assuming that that part of it. But again, in the back of my mind, I have no evidence of it yet, but I'm working on it. It'll come to me. I don't push anything. I don't push shit. Another thing I'm going to plan on doing is, because I don't think that the people that I hired, I obviously don't think that they're going to do anything with the shit that I gave them. I don't think it's going to go anywhere with them. It's disappointing, but it's just look at it as a learning experience. Because I gave my friend local here the periodic table to work on, the standard model to work on, letters and numbers. I brought her through the letters and some of the numbers that day. If you go to the Miguel Everyone channel, I don't think I was pointing the camera. I think the camera was just laying down somewhere, but you'll pick up the voices. What I was doing was I was drawing out the letters for her to let her understand that when any kind of letters are going to be used, they should all be done in triangular shapes. And that sounds hard to do, but it's not. It's already all in my mind. I just start throwing it down on paper, and it's there. I thought that other people would be of benefit and a help to me on getting that stuff together, but it's not. It's just a distraction, So, it's probably going to go back before Greek writing and before Greek math. It's probably going to go back even before that. I mistakenly accidentally said Roman when I was talking to her, and she straightened me out on it. She said, "You mean Greek?" And I was like, yes, I'm sorry, you're right, Greek. But it's even before that. It's even before the Aztec. So, even before the Aztec stuff, this writing, these words were being used. And I don't think that's any more. I think it's a lot less letters than we use in our alphabet today. I believe so. I don't know. It's just an instinct. I don't have any evidence of that either. But when I take the alphabet apart and I turn everything in the alphabet into triangular shapes, I can do it with everything except the 0, I believe it is so far. The 0 is the only one that I cannot do that with. But what I was explaining during the video is if you study the nanocarbon and the imagery that it creates, you'll notice how the eyeballs are made. And eyeballs round, the roundness of an eyeball, let's say, for example. And this is what I mean about distractions, because as I was telling her that, she automatically goes into all kinds of theoretical religious nonsense that I don't no longer even want to hear about anymore. I don't want to hear nobody's religious shit anymore. I'm sick of it. So I'm going to take this off because it's probably too dark. Let's just do this. So I don't want to do any of that anymore anyway. It's a waste of my fucking time, and it's a distraction for me. So what was telling her was that when you look at the eyeballs, they're made with the triangles from the nanocarbon. They're able to do that, and you can actually zoom in on them once you get them back to your. Go to any of my research vids. Go to any of my research vids. Start picking out large imagery. Pick the large ones first so that you can zoom in on them. Zoom in on the eyes, okay? And when you zoom in on the eyes, look into the nano rope. And the nano rope, you're going to see can do just about anything. Anyways, so you can find the shaped triangles that I'm talking about that make up those eyes, and they're not round, they're triangles. So the triangles, which ones are they using? I'll tell you. On the circles, I can see them, and you can too. You will be able to as well. So when you go and zoom in on them, once they're downloaded, they're already downloaded and uploaded, I mean, for you. So you just got to go to my research vids and go look around at my research vids. Pause it. When you see a large image, pause it. Go in on the eyeball. Now, the outside of the eye is diamond shaped. You know, the outside. That's why the Illuminati bullshit story, and they're all showing the diamond signs and giving you the diamond fingers and all the fucking crap, right? But when you look in on the circle, the pupil, the center of the eye, the round part of the eye, okay? Boomerang triangles are big for making up eyeballs to get that roundness to them. I don't know, fucking cops are following me or what? They're always behind me. The eyeballs, anyways, there's certain triangles that I see more often than others making up these eyeballs and circles. And I don't see many other circles, to be honest with you, besides the eyes. I see roundness because there's facial features that are round and things like that, but circles, nah. And that's one of the things I tell everybody too when you come into these videos. I'm gonna have to shut this down because I'm losing all my light now. One of the things I'll tell people as they're looking at the imagery, as you guys are going through all these research vids and looking at them, the whole 3 of you that are actually looking at all this, my 3 subscribers, because that's pretty much all I got really is 3 subscribers that even watch my videos. I know, because I go and look and see what's viewed for my videos. The rest are all me, or they're here and there. You'll see somebody sporadically come in, find the videos and look around or whatever, and then that's it. Think of all the things you know in your life, right? Think of everything that you fucking know when you're looking at these images, because they're not there. So when you start thinking about that, look for the spider. Look, in another breath, I'll tell you, don't be deceived by it. Don't be deceived by it. You don't want to start making yourself see things that are not there, put it that way. So if you see something that looks like a spider, by all means, go look in at it. Go look deep at it and focus on it. Don't just say, oh, there's a spider, and then walk away. No, just go and look at it really closely, because it's not going to be a fucking spider. There are no other species being represented in this system. It's feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. That's it. So you'll be able to see that all for yourselves. I guess it's way too dark anyway. No one's going to be able to see anything, so I might as well stop talking and just give it up. I'll maybe blow one UE down here, and then that'll be it. So, yeah, so that's another confirmation and a help to know that, okay, I know about bazillions of fucking things in my life, Where are the trees? Where are the fish? Where are the shellfish? Where are the all the creatures of the ocean, for that matter? Where are all the insects? I mean, there are some awesome fucking insects out there, really cool shit that we can hold in our hands, see with our eyes, or here in our reality. Why does the system not appreciate them enough to count them in the imagery? And if you think that maybe the imagery will be somewhere else for these creatures, by all means, go look. I've looked in the caves. I've looked underground. I've looked under rocks for the places that I think that I would find insect-related imagery. Man, the cops are getting everybody. What is it, the beginning of the fucking month or something? It's the end of the month. I was trying to meet their quotas or something. You got people pulled over everywhere. So yeah, so that helps too to confirm things. I'm gonna shut this down because it's too dark. I'll be back.